the son of consolation, Barnabas, is an interesting person. He combines in that person many good elements. He was a Jewish Cypriot, a Levite, but he was the one that Providence put beside the great Apostle Paul at an important part of the evangelization, setting forth from Antioch. He eventually returned to his own Cyprus, evangelized there, and it seems that he was martyred there in the year 61 AD at Salamis. He, from the beginning, was generous in corresponding to the promptings of divine grace. He sold his property and laid forth the gains at the feet of the apostles, which made him free. And that is the freedom that the Lord wants. The gospel chosen on this his feast is the commissioning, and the way in which this has been listened to by the Christian centuries is interesting, for the way in which it has led to entire orders basing their existence on that model. The mendicants, notably. They are to depend on providence. Precise instructions are given, and they are to be people of peace. They will go and greet the place, greet the house, Shalom Alechem, peace unto you, and if a son of peace is there, that peace will descend upon him. If not, it will return to them, as though the peace was something ontologically palpable, empirically tangible, a quality in the air, grace-filled. Indeed, there is a moment in the life of Barnabas in which this question of peace is jeopardized. It's when he doesn't want to part with John Mark, and he goes with him, and Paul takes Silas. These events are chronicled in the Acts of the Apostles, indicating that they are close to the truth. Luke is not doing artificial apologetics, but painting it warts and all. With regard to the power of the word, it was able to have its effect, also undoubtedly increased by the power of miracles which to have accompanied it, but because Barnabas, like all authentic preachers, was transmitting what he possessed, he was a free channel. We are now in the Novena preparation of a great modern, in inverted commas, preacher, much later in time, but a contemporary for him, Middle Ages, version of the early apostles. Anthony was only 36 when he had died after converting thousands and thousands by the word that came from his mouth, precisely because he was free. The evangelical movement, the Franciscans. And that word, when it didn't find peaceful souls, had a great effect even on the fish. Interesting that the animals somehow were less of an obstacle to the passage of divine goodness. We humans have other things to do. I would like to quote a word from this great saint, much closer to us in time than Barnabas, but perennially valid. Anthony was singled out, like Barnabas, by divine providence. But he had a whole teaching about the efficacy of the true preacher. He knew the sacred nature and the requirements of this office. And he had this to say: it behoves a preacher to lead on earth a heavenly life, in keeping with the truths he is charged to announce to the people. His conversation should only be concerned with holy things, and his endeavours must tend to but one end, the salvation of souls. It is his duty to raise up the fallen, to console them that weep, to distribute the treasures of divine grace as the clouds send down their refreshing showers. And all this must he do with perfect humility and absolute disinterestedness. Prayer must be his chief delight, and the remembrance of the bitter passion of Christ must ever accompany him, whether in joy or adversity. If he acts in this wise, the word of God, the word of peace and life, of grace and truth, will descend upon and flood him with its dazzling light. Parlava figlio della consolazione. Era un esempio di anima affidabile che andava accanto a San Paolo, avendo già cercato là dove era in ritiro, e poi avendo presentato alla comunità, difendendolo. Partono da Antiochia e sono liberi. Dall'inizio lui ha venduto la sua proprietà, ha dato ricavato agli apostoli e ha seguito proprio il consiglio del Signore eletto appena adesso. Il Signore chiedeva anime libere quando si trattava della sua parola, anime non bloccate dal creato, ma volando sopra di essa. Anime pacate che trasmettono la grazia della parola e dell'amore nella forma della pace, questo shalom che sarebbe il saluto dato dagli ebrei, shalom aleichem. E se c'è un figlio della pace nella casa, la pace scenderà su di lui, se no tornerà a loro, come se fosse una grazia, una qualità palpabile, questa pace. Nella vita di San Barnaba c'è un episodio in cui, non volendo rompere la pace con Giovanni Marco, lascia San Paolo, che prende un altro, Silas, e lui va con l'altro. Il fatto che questo episodio figura nella lettura che circonda la sua vita indica che San Luca non ha voluto nascondere niente, sono uomini, però rimane sempre fedele. Tra poco avremo un esempio di un gran predicatore più recente nel tempo, Sant'Antonio, che ha seguito alla lettera questo invito del Signore di non aver niente su questa vita, ma soltanto dipendente sulla provvidenza. E sappiamo la sua parola e la sua potenza. Morto già a 36 anni, ha dato la facoltà della parola al Signore, indicando anche nel suo insegnamento che il predicatore non deve sprecare parole su altre cose. la sua mente, e dunque la sua parola è tutta orientata al Signore, perché la parola è troppo preziosa, e il tempo consacrato è anche consacrato.
Armonia nel gaudio del mio spirito si espande. L'anima mia magnifica il Signore, Lui solo è grande, Lui solo è grande. E me beata dirà in eterno delle genti il canto, mia esaltata per l'umile mio cuor, Lui solo è